income tax related capital gain valuation, sale deed adjudication. He has independently prepared ready reckoner for Marathwada region, which is widely used by banks and government departments. It is going to be an interesting learning session for next 4 hours with a break of 1 hour from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So over to Shri Anil Vamarao Ghodke sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ma'am has already given my introduction. I am Anil Godghase, former Assistant Director of Town Planning. I have worked for more than 30 years in this town planning and valuation field for the state government of Maharashtra. And second thing, actually, I have carried out valuation redirector rates for 8 districts. And how we prepare rates and why these rates are important, we will study in detail. And second thing, everywhere, whenever you are practicing as a valuer, you will require these rates. And what is its importance? And second thing, in the afternoon session, please be ready with some calculators. In the first session, we will study theory part first, and actually, I'm going to do some calculation work in the afternoon session. I have some numericals, how the radiator works, how you calculate the value. We will see in detail then. Is my screen visible now? Okay, I will.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes. Is it visible now? Yes. Okay.
Yes, visible.
Okay.
It's visible, sir.
Without wasting time, I will straightway go for the redirectional. What is meant by redirectional? See, whenever you are working in any field nowadays, you need these redirectional rates. These redirectional, though, one most important. Remember this redirectional. What is meant by this redirectional? Redirectional rate meaning are those rates are those prices. That means further it might be for the residential properties. There are some industrial property, some commercial property, some no development zone property. What is expected in this? Government expects stamp duty. This is for the stamp duty purpose. Main purpose of this redirector to collect revenue. And you see, in India, all the states have their own redirectors. Every state has their own redirectors. Every state has their own guidelines, rules, and regulations available with them. So that it does not mean that almost every state has similar rules, but slight difference. It depends why it happens, because some locations are different, some land categories are different, some hill stations are there. So according to their site situation, they need to incorporate some rules in their redirectors then. So that's why there are some changes in their guidelines. But see, the basic methods will not change. Whether it is income approach, market approach, or cost approach, whenever you are practicing, you will need these basic methods. But in redirectors, what they do? They collect the data, carry out local inquiries. On that basis, they come to the rates, concluding rates. And the most important thing in this, there are two categories of rates. That means urban area and rural area. How these urban area rates are carried out, how they fix these rates, and how these rates are important in the field of valuations. This is very important topic. I will say, because I was working as not one. I have worked in this registration department for almost 10 to 15 years on deputation. Basically, I am from urban development department. That means working as a assistant director of town planning or town planner. So that means there are two categories. One category which gives the development permissions, that means layouts, building permissions, and second category for the fixing of the doing the valuations, actually valuations for the stamp duty purpose. So originally these registration department do not have their own staff. So what they do in every state. I think I don't know about the other state, but particularly Maharashtra, I know that they on the deportation, most of the officers work there, and their main intention is that they technically these sub registers, they are not technical persons. So for valuation purpose, they take the services for the from the town planning valuers. So in that process, how to fix these rates? And nowadays, these ready reckoners are related with all the building permissions and layouts everywhere. Why it is so? We will see in the next slides then. Who sets these ready reckoners? I have already told. Every state has their own staff available with them. The registrars are non-technical persons, so they are taking technical services. Then what these technical authorities do? They collect while working in this registration department. Nowadays, most of the department, that is Inspector of General of Registration, is the highest authority in this. And whenever they want to get sanction to these rates have been it is supposed that these rates supposed to be revised every year. Almost every year they revise. But nowadays what is happening, some due to some situations, it is not possible to go with these rates every year. Suppose next year elections are there. In Maharashtra particularly, they publish this rate on 1st of April. Achar Sanhita might be there. That means in that situation, what they do? They extend the period, or sometimes what happens? Public pressure is there. So many persons are working in this field, and they suggest, sir, already these rates are too much high. We suffer with capital gains. People do not prefer to go with the real estates. So these rates are too much high. So they convince to the government. On that basis, according to the deflation, inflation, they will think, government will think, and they will take their decision. And suppose this is the, I think, as per my opinion, this is the second largest department which gives revenue to the government. But indirectly, it is the most legal. Whenever I have appeared in court, in many court regarding these land acquisition matters, then income tax department matters, and some other matters. In that case, their court always go with these radiator rates. This has some base. But suppose 10 valuers are working there, then that means each valuer has his own thinking. The valuation will not be same. 10 valuers have different opinion, different valuations. But it does not mean radiator is always perfect, because these are average rates. For municipal areas, then rural areas, how to decide these rates, how this radiator works. But remember, in capital gains also, they take the advice from these government departments, and some complaints, some irregularities might be there. Then in that case also, they report to the government officers. In that case, that means there should not be too much difference in value of the particular property. Suppose you are valuing a property from the residential zone in particular area, and there is difference of almost 1 lakh %. It should not happen. It might be almost, it might be up to 50%, 20%, 30%, whatever it may, but it should not be too much difference there for that particular property. How to check the rate for any particular area? I think you people are from the most of the other states of the on India. Every state has now developed their own online sites. whenever you prepare your ready reckoners, I have also published these ready reckoners on behalf of government for my region. So in that case, what they do, they they have provided all the facilities to publish these rate open. These rates are now open. On 1st of April, we publish the rates. These rates are online available, but how to see these rates then? Then I will suggest you just go IGR site with your respective states. Second thing, why valuers need these? Why these rates, guidelines rate are important for the valuers? Whenever you are doing any valuation, whenever you are handling any assignment regarding these valuations, what you need? Every time you need data. Which type of data then? That means most of the times you need sales data. Which see this sales data. Why is this sales data is important? Because it is a pure evidence. You have the whatever valuations available there. These figures have legal base, and whenever I have handled some 2-3 court cases, in that case there were so many irregularities regarding valuations. At that time, court whatever report with I have collected some sales data to that adjacent properties, or that almost I have collected 1 kilometer the sales data within the periphery of 1 kilometers, and on that basis concluded the and court has accepted it. So that means this is a totally pure legal base. When what is happening nowadays, we will see in the later slide also, because banks, income tax departments, capital gain, land acquisition, such types of valuation need to be carried out by valuers today. So how to evaluate these properties, we will see. In the afternoon session, I will actually show how these reckoner rates been fixed by these valuers, government valuers, and how they use for the collecting stamp duties. See, this nowadays this is the requirement most of the banks, financial institutions. But remember one thing: those who got registration from IBBI or whether from the income tax department. Now, whenever they appoint you as on impanel, when you will be impaneled on that particular bank or financial institution, there is one performer there. Do not blindly sign this. Whatever facts with you, why it is necessary? Now you visit any bank, they have their own performers available with them, and see there is one column there. Why it has happened? And almost I have also carried one big inquiry regarding this one of the banks. I will not go with the name of the bank particularly, but what they did, the inquiry, central government inquiry was there, and they said, they suggest the bank the register valuers have already submitted their reports. They have given whatever figure they have given, but who will the authority then? They ask to the registration department, how should these are the irregularities in these cases. Then you just give some sample cases. On that basis, we can judge whether how whether the other valuers have done anything wrong. So I have myself done this, that I have handled amount. There were almost 2,000, 5,000 cases, but I have given report only for 5 to 6 cases. In that cases, what I have observed there was huge difference. So that means, wow, these people, that means whenever you are handling such matter, there might be, remember, never go for the intentional mistakes. unknowing mistakes might be there, difference of opinion might be there, but still there where will you when you will suffer if there is huge difference with these radiational valuations. They, I think most of the court, always court also and income tax department also give importance to these rates only in case of complaints. So valuer should be cautious while giving their reports. And nowadays what is happening here, most of the banks sanction loan, but they nowadays they earlier also they were doing the same thing, but presently you go any bank, they will they have their own standard pro forma with them, and there is one column how much is the radiator rates. So if valuer has thorough knowledge, then only he can go beyond. If he has some evidence available with you, then only he will cross the limit, the figures of the ready reckoner. Otherwise, he will say, sir, this much is the valuation, because he cannot take risk. Otherwise, he needs some evidences. Why you are, suppose you are valuing that property, bank, the person has asked loan for 1 crore, and whatever evidence you have, you cannot go beyond 50 lakhs. But still, what is the intention of bank? They want to give loans. They want to sanction more loans, more amounts. In that case, if you do not have evidences, and suppose the radiator valuation value might be up to 60 lakhs, or your valuation is you got whatever figure you got, it doesn't cross 50 lakhs, then what will the valuer do? But bank will insist, sir, these are clients, we want to protect these clients, so please try to enhance this valuation. But still remember, never do these things unless and until you have evidence. Never go for such wrong valuations. Earlier, what was happening? Now, I have also given so many development permissions, layouts, building permissions. In the earlier cases, I have collected, because typing was difficult, that's why I have collected some material from the sites. Okay. Nowadays, stamp duty only is the not the purpose. I think many people are practicing here as a valuer, and I have also worked as an authorized valuation officer regarding that. That means for the property tax matters. When that means what valuer do there? So many municipalities, so many municipal corporations are there nowadays. What so valuer has this much scope nowadays. The many municipalities do tenders, and on that basis they ask to the valuer, sir, we want to carry out these property inspections, and in that case, what the valuer do? That means he need to fix that rateable value there. For that purpose also, but basically only purpose of this radiator is for the government stamp duty. But still, why these people are using? This has some legal base. So he will collect the rental data, or the whether the owner live there or rental. So on that basis, he will carry out the, there he needs the, for the local body taxes also now ready reckoner is required. So that means you should have thorough knowledge on this ready reckoner. Otherwise, if you take some contract that they publish some tenders on website, nowadays each and every municipality are doing, they are fixing, while fixing their taxation, house and taxes. Then second thing, whenever nowadays this transfer of development rights, TDR, whenever they want to do anything, the ready reckoner's role is important. Why it is so? Indirectly, why it is indirectly related with these ready reckoners? When you will be eligible to get TDR, that means you will submit your land acquisition proposal. Suppose your site is resolved, or suppose your property is affected in the road. Then in that case, what you do? You will demand compensation, or you will request the concerned municipality, sir, please take over my land, and take possession of my land and give me compensation. Nowadays, these compensations are used. Earlier, what was happening in the earlier Land Acquisition Act 1894? People were not eager to hand over land to the government. But nowadays, why there is huge change. These ready reckoner rates, that means in urban area, they are given twice of the ready reckoner rates minimum, and in rural area almost 4 times. And in addition to that, they are giving solatium. That means whatever solatium, that means almost in urban area they are getting 3 times. In rural area they are getting 5 times. In addition to that, some interest might be there because this process will take some time. So there also these rates are important. And you will say, sir, what is the role of private failure there? There, suppose if the person who got the compensation will not be satisfied with the whatever compensation given by the government officers, then he will, where he will approach? He will approach to court. Then court, the advocate want to submit his report. Our advocate is not supposed to be a technical person. Then he will take the advice from the register valuer. He will suggest the client, bring the report from the register valuer, and what you will do then? You will thoroughly study. You will collect some evidences. On that basis, you will say, sir, this is the matter. And so many land acquisition cases are pending nowadays. And day by day, its rate is increasing. And people are aware nowadays. Earlier, it was what was happening. No one come to for. I have also worked as a land acquisition officer. There were no complaints from the public at that time. But nowadays, people are aware. So regarding capital gains also, that means this income tax officer, what they do? Again, in the real inquiries also, big inquiries. That time they carry out the valuations, and nowadays there is shortage of valuers nowadays. Actually, it is sure so many valuers are required for this property valuation. Then third one, suppose they were nowadays in every development control rules and bylaws, what is required there? Suppose you basically you were getting only earlier by nowadays most of the states have developed their own building bylaws in a good manner. They are thinking regarding floor space index, this TDR, this premium FSI. These all factors are directly related with these ready reckoners. Remember, whenever we were giving development permissions at that time, we were considering these ready reckoner rates on certain percent, 5%, 2%, 15%. So these rates, if valuer is known regarding this, how to use these rates, sometimes the officer make some mistakes. They make some confusions regarding zoning, because these zones, how we will see actually on plan, how these rates matters, why it is happening. So we will actually see on the plans. And second thing, these rates vary from region to region and even within region. What does it mean by even within region? Can anyone answer me? I have written here, rates varies from region to region. It's okay, no issue. But within region, what I am expecting here? Within region means why it is this factor may be considered by these values within region. Can anyone answer?
Yeah, within a region means, like, for example, say I'm in Noida at present.
Okay, sir.
So if we say that Western UP is a region, so complete region, then it cannot be equated with all the places. For example, Ghaziabad has different infrastructure development, and Noida has more modern, closer to Delhi. It comes in Delhi NCR. More industries are coming. So within a region also, depending on infrastructure and development and like demand and availability ratio, so rates will vary.
Yes, certainly this. And in addition to that, suppose
Also, the attributes might be different. Means within a region, one property might be falling in a 120 feet road. One property might be falling on 60 feet road.
yes, yes, this is also one factor. And one more factor I am expecting that certainly affect the valuation. One more important factor, because being a valuer, being a
Are you talking about the age of the property?
it's okay. Age is
Because
also important,
that
but
is
one
already.
most important factor we will see in the later slide. But most important factor being a technical valuer. Within that particular, suppose you are valuing one, I will give you a hint. Suppose you are valuing one of the properties in survey number 39, and its area is almost 40 acres, 30 acres. Then in that case, how there will be that within that survey number you are carrying out the valuation. Now I have given hint. What will how you will find difference there then? Which difference? That is most important factor. Being a valuer, you need to consider.
See, what is the shape of that property and
Size
Shape is
of the
okay.
property.
size and
is
shape?
okay. Shape is okay. I have no objection regarding shape. Okay, but
Size.
size and one more.
Whether the government rate is abutting to properties abutting to road. Okay.
Okay, roads we have already discussed.
Sub has government decide the rate 1000 square meter.
Mhm.
This rate applied for 40 acres of land.
So that is different thing. You are applying different method there. But remember, I will give the answer now. See, whenever you are handling any case, where you will go first? You will straight away go for the zoning of that property. Whether there might be difference of some partially land may be residential zone and partially it may be in NDZ, in agricultural zone. Certainly there will be huge difference of valuation there. Such things will be there. We will see in the plans there. So that is the most important factor. Then read this. I will go ahead. Then everyone know, but still I will try to explain in my practical experience. I have actually words, so I will try to explain where is the difference there. So that actual market price means what is mean. We are familiar with we people. I am also valuer nowadays. I am using this market rates nowadays. Why so? Because whenever I am going for the valuations, these ready reckoner rates are fixed. These are average rates. They have different zoning. We will see in the slides. I have plans with me how they fix the rates, and these rates are the base for the. We have also binded. So market rate, that means you will go for the you will collect some sales evidence. Second factor, which factor you will consider for this market rate then? Which factor is important for? Suppose you do not have sales data available in that particular property for that particular valuation, then what you will do? So what is the second option there then for carrying out this market rate? It's our duty.
Market survey from local dealers.
Yes, absolutely correct, sir. That means what you will do? You have no evidence available with you. Then you will properly judge, ask the so many people, and on that basis, you will come to conclusion for this particular rate. Otherwise, there is no option. No sales data is available. In that situation, you could go with, you need to go for this. Then determined by negotiation between buyers and these are some factors. Which is most important, standardized rates for specific regions and property types, because this is dependent on the as per the development plans. Now these are some factors everyone knows, but while writing any valuation report, remember these are some most important factors you try to cover. whenever you will be writing any report, any valuation report. So if you do not find anything, then you can make dash there, but still consider these factors. Their location is the most important factor. We will see. I have some pictures with me. Then we will actually discuss how the evaluation will be affected. Because government, remember one thing, there might be huge difference. Suppose government valuation is rupees 5 lakh per acre and you are valuing for 50 lakhs per acre. It may happen, but how it can be, we will see. Why there is so difference? So there might be chances because these rates are average rates. They do not consider everything. They do not go for the particular property. So they are considering huge zones. In that zone, there might be some differences. So we will see them. Then infrastructural. Infrastructure is most important now, particularly in Delhi, Noida, Bangalore, Chennai. See what is happening. Nowadays, people do not prefer congested area. Most of the time they prefer outskirts areas. They know why it is happening so. I have visited Bangalore. At that time, I was stuck in the traffic for almost 4 hours. So most of the people, I think in Delhi, Noida also, the same thing is happening. Traffic congestion is more there. So in the most of the metro cities, nowadays it is most common. So most of the government, they try to develop infrastructure in the outskirts. And valuer need to consider these factors because in congested area, what is happening? No one like to live in the old buildings. They want lavish houses. So the rates are increasing in the outskirts also nowadays. So if there is demand only, this demand and supply factor also matters. I need not go because you have already studied this.
But sir, does the demand and supply affect the ready reckoner rates? Because
Yes,
government
yes,
never changes the ready reckoner rates as per demand and supply.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because what happens if there is no demand? Then in this government, whenever you want to publish a declaration, it is mandatory that they made it compulsory to take the meetings of these political leaders. That means MLAs or municipality body leaders or ZP leaders. They are also one of the part before preparing, before taking final decision. They need to it is mandatory to conduct the meeting with the collectors, every collector, district collector. Then we need to consider their factors.
But sir, they might be fixing it as per the present current demand and supply. But
Yes, yes, that
then
means,
they are not changing it for years. Maybe
yes, it
there is a
happens.
great demand and tomorrow there is no demand, but they are not changing the ready reckoner rates then.
Yes, yes, it happens so many times. So nowadays, I have retired in October 2022. At that time, in 2022, I have published rates on behalf of government. And still these rates are prevailing. Last year, they do not sanction these rates.
In
And
Gujarat,
now suppose in the coming year, on the 1st of April, there might be Achar Sanhita there. So in that case, what happens? Government will extend. It is mandatory that you need to publish these rates. But before going to the now we will consider the inflation. Who will consider the inflation then? The leaders know better where public will go. Public will not come to the government officers. They will whatever complaint they do have, because government, the revenue department sanction these rates, right? So whenever you are giving some sanctions to these rates, if there is demand only, then only you can increase the rates. Inspector General of Registration, that means they are at the secretary level persons. They conduct the meetings every month, and the officer discuss if there is demand. How you will decide that demand then? In simple words, if suppose you are working
you
as a
can
value,
decide the demand based on what how many registrations are done in the registrar office. So they can
Yes.
know that how many properties are being registered. By that, they can ascertain what is the demand over there.
Yes, exactly. We people also do the same. So that means, but what happens while working as a private valuer, you will not get this data. But for now these offices have been linked. These town planning offices, that means these valuation offices, these offices are linked to the register office. That means whether the sale is from the rural area or from the urban area or influence area, whenever the sale takes place, it automatically records to the town planning valuation office. So but what about the private people then? So that's why most of the times you do not get the evidences. So many sales are available, but still how to collect this data? That is the most um, difficulty facing the valuers nowadays. Suppose you are valuing a particular property of city survey number 377, and you want to that they have published everything, online data is available, everything, it's okay. But how it is possible to collect this data? So this also I will see. I will explain in the final session then how you can collect this data then. Then amenities. What are the facilities, amenities available? This naturally affect valuation. I need not go in detail. This. What type of property? What type of property I am expecting here? That means whether the property is high-rise buildings are developing nowadays. Someone wants, it depends on person to person, whether you want to live in bungalow or whether you want to live flatted building. It depends. Someone likes to live in farmhouse. It may happen. So these also factors need to be considered. And these proposals, what is meant by DP? What is meant by RP, development authorities? Can anyone tell me regarding this RP word? Anyone from Maharashtra?
Resolution professional.
No, no, no.
Regional
Regional
planning.
planner.
Regional planning.
Regional planning, exactly.
Hmm.
What is meant by this regional planning? This is very important because this affects the rates. How this regional plan works, we will see. I will show. I have some plans with me. I will show. No issue. So this the DP, and then what does mean by these development authorities? Which are the development authorities then?
City development authorities.
Okay, this is also one of the development authority. But most in the most of the cities, which authority is working nowadays?
The urban development authorities,
That is the proper word for this. You are correct.
like in Surat, we have Surat Urban Development Authority.
Yes, sir. That means metropolitan development authorities are working
Metropolitan
there.
Development
Yes,
Authority.
exactly. That is the proper word. Whenever you will writing the reports, you use these words. Okay. So these development authorities are very important. Mumbai MMRDA. See the how they have developed. I think in Bangalore also they have separate development authorities. So that means nowadays it is the requirement. What was happening earlier? I have worked as a town planner. I have prepared some development plans, right? For municipal corporation, for municipal councils. What actually happened? I will say we were preparing plans, but what about the implementation then? We were simply denying that, sir, our duty is only to do the planning. And only I have so many times we have submitted report to the government. They many times the urban development department asks, how much is the development? Yeah, these plans have been prepared for 20 years. How much? So many reservations are there. So many roads are there incorporated there. You have proposed so many roads. How much is the implementation? You will be shocked. Only 4 to 5% implementation is there. So that's why these authorities are important nowadays. These authorities have the powers to plan and as good as to development. They have got the development. They are development authority. They are collecting funds whenever they are giving development permission. They will collect the fees. So that means these authorities, these valuer, nowadays this is the most important factor required by the valuer. Whenever you are handling any case, all over India. I will suggest straight away go for the DP proposals, so that if you have development plan with you, you will get the idea of the surroundings. And these redirector base are directly linked. We were the town planners, we were the valuers. So what we were, we collect all the plans. Then on that, based on that area, we have prepared the zone plans. That means for the every development plan, we have marked these zones. That means there might be difference. Suppose there is slum area, or suppose your property is adjacent to your airport area. There are restrictions. So these factors need to be considered by valuers. Then identify the relevant authority, which authority it is related. Then determine the factors. Access RR, how to access these RR rates. These rates are available online. Many people might know, but still I will actually in the evening session I will try to show. If we get time, we will try to go directly how to go for the how. Suppose I'm sitting here, and why I want to see the rates of Mumbai or Pune or for the particular property. I can get these rates easily within 2 minutes. So that means these online rates are available, but how to go there? That, and now what is the role for the private valuer? The same thing for the valuers. If he is handling some property valuation of the Thane region, so he can get the data online available. The data is available online. Then determination of characteristics, you everyone know. Then calculate the rates. How to calculate, we will see in. Then property valuation, how does redirector affect the real estate transactions? Nowadays, capital gain is directly related with these redirectors. Income tax officers always consider these redirector rates. Banks, whenever they want to go for the auctions, they also consider these rates. Even I have to submit some reports for the GST department, sales tax department, earlier sales tax department. Whenever they want to, they were taking advice from these valuers, government valuers. But it was not our duty. So we have suggested them that go for the private registered valuers, because duties are different. There are very few persons working in that registry department. So that means whenever you are valuing any property in the, you need to go, you should have the thorough knowledge regarding this, whether the property falls in the urban or rural, or some person might have the property in the rural area and also urban area, or some with the development authorities. So they have different rules and regulations. So that means valuer should know these rules and regulations. Nowadays, why these factors matter? Because FSI is the major factor nowadays. And not only earlier, what was happening? They were simply giving one FSI. Nowadays, you can go for almost 7 FSI. Premium FSI is there, TDR FSI is there. Whether it is permissible, if it is permissible, then naturally land value will change. Then mortgage financing, then market stability and government revenue. Everyone know this. What are the redirector rates? Why is this rate are important? We have already discussed this. Standard valuation, because they provide the valuation, they are giving rates. But remember one thing, these are not the final rates. These are average rates. There are some provisions. We will see in the actual valuation how the difference will be there. While carrying out actual valuation, how much difference will be there? Which factors affect these valuations? We will see. Then pricing guidance, then stamp duty and registration charges, then property tax assessment. Whenever you are calculating that rate, whenever you are going for, if you have taken the contract from the particular municipality, municipal corporation, you need to go for the rateable value. How will come? That means you will survey the entire area, each and every property, and you will collect some data. On that basis, what happens? These rates, property rates, property taxation is fixed based on these rental rates. If owner is living there, and some part is he has given on rent. This also matters. So valuer must know these things also. Then market stability, whether inflation or deflation is going on, it will affect. Yes. Government revenue, higher rates can be generate increased revenue. Yes. Basic intention of the government officer is not to go for the higher rates intentionally, but their intention is to go for the proper market rate. Suppose now I will ask one question, if you people know or not. It's the provision of that Registration Act 19. That means it is applicable all over India. Suppose one property having you visit sub-registrar office and you want to register. Suppose Khadtare sir is selling his property and I am buying that property, and he has said, sir, this much 3 crore. This property is for 3 crore. I am going to buy this property for 3 crores. And we have visited the site, and what we do is there, when you visit the sub-registrar office, you need to pay the stamp duty according. There might be 5%, 6%, 7%. According to that valuation, and we have visited the site and visited the office, and the valuer, the government valuer, has given you in writing that this is your property, you want to sell it. This property has valuation of almost 5 crores. Then what you will do? There is difference of almost 2 crore. That means you will suffer the capital gain. That is different point. But what are the provisions there then? Government valuer has given 5 crore, but our transaction is only for 3 crores. Then how will, whether you will pay that stamp duty, because he will not accept. He will say, sir, this is the valuation. Registrar is non-technical person. He will say, sir, you pay stamp duty on 5 crores. And suppose you do not want to pay the stamp duty on 5 crores, then what are the provisions? This is my question.
You have to get a, order from a collector, you have to get it valued from a valuer, get an order from the collector to pay a lesser stamp duty over there.
Who will be the,
Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, what will happen in the hands of a seller? Whenever we are registering it at a lower rate than the stamp duty rates, then in the hands of the seller, income tax department considers it to be the net profit to the seller. And then they will charge income tax to the seller on the net profit.
Capital gain will be there, okay?
Not only capital gain will be to the seller, but
Yes,
for the buyer, I am saying.
Buyer also will
that
suffer.
For the buyer, it would be the net profit to the buyer, and the income tax department will charge about it.
Yes. He will, the income tax department will serve notice, but it's okay. But I want to get reduce that valuation. Yes, it's okay. That will be the problem for this.
Then we have to get the order from collector.
We have to get collector. That means collector of stamps will be there.
Yep.
These people, the technical persons are there. You need to submit proposal. That is called adjudication. That means section 31 of the Registration Act. There are provisions. Because why this registrar is giving higher valuation? Because he has average rates. Then you need to submit this proposal to the collector of stamps, and there are some technical persons are working there from the town planning departments there. So they will visit the site, actually see, they collect the data. On that basis, they will carry out the valuation and will say, sir, you are correct. Now you can pay. They will fix the valuation, and on that basis, you get the benefit there. So that means adjudication provision is there in the Registration Act. Okay.
Some practical views are actually sub-register office give a valuation from government registered value.
No. Well, yes, it is not this because the ready reckoner rates are published. Why he will go for the government value?
As per ready reckoner rate, it is 5 crore valuation. Okay. Sometimes register office give a valuation from government registered valuer. If the property is 3 crore, he has to prove that it is 3 crore. Okay.
Yes.
Then that case he has to register the document.
Yes.
If sub-registrar is not acceptable, he can refer the case to town planning officer, retired town planning officer appointed by valuation department or sub-registrar office.
No. This is not the process because I have handled more than 2,000, 3,000 cases, such
I
cases.
have personal case in this way. They refer the town planning officer appointed by Mudrang.
Not
Uh,
retired officers. See,
okay.
the government, what the registration department do not have technical persons available. So I have worked there for these valuations. So I will suggest.
Sub registrar office has adjacent as a authority has appointed a town planning officer
Yes,
adjacent.
town planners are there, assistant town planners, they are available there. So that means for they are submitting their report to the collector of stamps.
Okay.
You suppose sub-registrar has given valuation for 5 crores. What we will do? You will collect that document notice and straightway with your evidences, you will submit your adjudication proposal to the collector of stamps. Then collector of stamps is also non-technical person. What he will do? That means he will.
So, in some cases, building plan is sanctioned by collector office. Building is not executed on the site. Okay. In that case, sub registrar says whether the building is constructed or not. If the client says, "I have not constructed building," then he has to refer the government valuer the report for not constructed building is not constructed on the site. In
Yes.
that case, he has to take the report of
Yes,
photographs, all these things.
but who will give the report? That means technical person is available there.
Ah,
That not directly with the sub-registrar, but with the collector of stamps.
okay.
You need to submit the proposal to the collector of stamps. That the technical person will visit the site, verify and give his report. On that basis, that valuation can be get reduced there. And I have also done that job for many years, so I know.
I have such instances available with me. Building is already.
We will discuss in the evening then.
Okay.
Because okay,
Okay, sir.
you keep reserve your time. Otherwise,
Okay.
you can personally contact me. I know
Okay, sir.
everything because I have already done this job.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. Then overvaluation, undervaluation, we have decided. Overvaluation, then you need to give some evidences why you are going with. And regarding undervaluation, also you need to give some evidences. Unless and until you do not have any compact evidence with you, never go for such higher valuations or undervaluations. Because nowadays it is difficult. Everyone is asking the evidences. Court also ask evidence. Income tax department also ask evidence. So write down the proper report according to the required methods. Limited flexibility, then market distortions, then tax and compliance issues. We have discussed this. So read this. I will go ahead. We have already discussed everything, but we will go ahead then. This line is important. Buyers, sellers, and industry professional should stay informed because they also know the what is the market, prevailing market going on. Now that everyone is alert, why it is happening? So many sites are available. You can easily visit the site. You can get the rate of the any area nowadays. But if it is given on the site, then only you can do that. These are some sources. And remember, the title, one of the valuers I have asked me, remember one thing, to check the title by visiting that particular office is not mandatory for the valuer, because whatever documents submitted by the, who will give you the documents? That authority is not submitting the proposal. That means banks or financial institution is handing over the assignment. In that case, what will be the valuer duty then? He should check the title, or if you find something wrong there, he can ask that particular client, sir, these are my findings. I am doubtful here. So please give me the corrected papers. You can demand for that particular person or for the bank or institution. So to take responsibility of the title, Because these titles are fixed by the revenue departments or that city survey department. They fix the titles. Then municipalities, census book, it is not necessary. It is required for the government valuers. They fix because we need to collect this census data. Before going for the ready reckoners, we collect this on the basis of population and everything. We prepare the development plans, and these are some technical things. Then site inspection is very important factor. How the site inspection affect the valuation, we will see in the later slides. I have some images. Then open space or occupation, these amenity plots, open spaces, these also affect the valuations. But what I have experienced in this field, I have taking lectures for last 4 or 5 months in this field, and I have experienced that most of the valuers do not have the idea about these development plans, development control rules, and FSI. And these are the major factors which affect the valuations, and they are ignoring these encroachments. Okay, we will
Many
discuss in
times-
the evening.
Sir, actually development plan is available in market, but interlinking between development plan and revenue authority is not.
Yes,
If
there is
particular survey number or particular city survey number is remarked as reservation, with this remark is not going to be in the revenue record. That's why client is not
no, I
cooperate
will
regarding
keep your question.
client
Yes,
is
I
not
will.
cooperating regarding
No, I
the.
will give you answer. Actually, I know it. But I have actually work on this. So I will in the evening keep your question reserved. So it is
Okay.
not the proper the thing you are saying, because there is some coordination in between departments. That's why this how then redactor can be prepared then. And there is those the persons from the town planning only working in the registration department. And whenever you are getting development permission, what collector is the non-technical authority. He submit the proposal to the town planning. How you can say then? Okay, we will discuss in the evening your question. The proper valuation exercise. How should be the value? Remember, so many values are working here. So many valuation they submit their reports, but no one is going to. They know no one is going to check. No one is going to audit. So, but some complaints, what happens then? Now, so many cooperative banks are facing problems. So many CAs, so many register valuers. They are responsible now. The banks, some cooperative banks with some leaders. There are so many irregularities. But these people they have almost, their registration had been cancelled. In particularly, I am living in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. So many irregularities in 3-4 banks nowadays going on. Crores of people suffer. Then that means I will suggest write down everything in the correct manner, analyze the data properly, otherwise you will suffer. Then application of convincing methods. Which method should be applied? Suppose you are valuing, you want to fix valuation and you have the rental data available with you. Then which method we should prefer? Suppose you handling some income, some profits, you are getting some profit in that particular industry. Which method should be applied? Some non-marketable properties. Which method should be applied? So these things must be. You will know everything, but still then transparency is very important. What happens in the market? This black money concept you even know. So that means, but we being a valuer, we should not go in this such matters. So there should be some transparency while writing reports. You should not favor anyone. Realistic consideration. What are the realistic factors which are in the prevailing in the market? We need to consider. Then comprehensive and detailed valuation report. Report must be concise. Detail, it does not mean that you are writing an essay. It should not happen. So that means it is expected that you need, in simple words, I will suggest what is the scope, what is the purpose of the valuation, collect the data accordingly, choose the proper method of valuation. On that basis, come to the conclusion, suppose you are using 3 methods, all 3 methods you are using, then which method will be proper? That is your skill and judgment then. And the second thing, analyze the data first. If you do not analyze the data properly, how will you come to the conclusion for the proper method then? That means analysis is also important factor. These things, you know, if there is no utility, then whether how it will be the demand in the market then. There will be no demand. Scarcity, if there is no scarcity, whether the rates will be high or low. Yes or no answer?
Obviously, if it's not a scarce resource, the rates will be very low.
Yes.
Anything is available in abundance, obviously the rates will be very low.
That's the thing. So it's a proper answer. That means demand. Demand, everyone know, we have already discussed this. Then now I will go with this last factor. What does mean by this transferability then?
How easily you can
Marketability.
transfer the title. Means if there are any restrictions on transfer, obviously the property will fetch a lower value.
Then can you give me one example here?
Like in Surat Municipal Corporation, they construct many Awas buildings.
Yes.
They give the flats at very lower rates to the LIG group, lower income group. Maybe
Okay.
they give a 1-bedroom hall kitchen flat in 5.5 lakh. So they have put up a condition that the owner of the flat cannot transfer the flat up to 7 years. Now the transferability here is restricted. He cannot transfer it up to 7 years. So obviously the property will fetch a lesser value.
Yes, correct. Then second one, I
Class
will
2 lands in Maharashtra.
If there is any court case wherein the court
Varga
has
दोन
stay on transfer of the properties.
yes. This one and another then
class 2 properties, वर्ग 2च्या properties
yes,
महाराष्ट्रात.
these properties in Maharashtra. Then unauthorized plotting. This is also, they are restricted Guntevari nowadays. So this transferable, because if the property is not transferable, then how much will be difference in valuation then? कितना डिफरेंस हो सकता है वो वैल्यूएशन में? सोचो वो ट्रांसफर कभी होता ही नहीं तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं फिर? 100 रुपए के बॉन्ड के ऊपर जो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी पे नहीं करते, 100 रुपीज, they buy 100 rupees bond, write down the matter, but the property cannot be transferred. The property will never transfer. Then there will be huge difference then.
Sir, there is a condition in Guntevari
तिकडे आल्याशिवाय काय
certificate.
होणार आहे?
Someone, sir, Ladda sir, you were saying something.
बघू आता ह्या
Yeah,
मला
Guntevari
Someone is
certificate में
speaking.
एक condition होती है sir.
Mute. Someone is speaking. He is disturbing. Okay, sir, continue.
गुंटेवारी सर्टिफिकेट में एक कंडीशन होती है जिसमें कहा जाता है कि इफ दिस द सेड प्रॉपर्टी इज अफेक्टेड बाय एनी डेवलपमेंट प्लान, said area will be acquired by municipal corporation without any condition and without any compensation.
Yes, that means the property, if the property is in affected by some reservation or no development zone, then it may happen then.
No. When they issue the Guntevari certificate, they verify that whether it is in residential zone, then only they.
Yes, it is the mandatory condition.
But they give condition that in future it gets affected by any development plan, yeah, or a development plan road. Then also they will acquire that property
Yes.
without any condition and without
Yes.
any compensation.
It's the right
In
of the
future
government.
also.
Yes, it's the right of the government. They can
Yeah.
acquire. Yeah. For the public purpose only they can acquire. Remember, only for
Okay.
the public purpose, not for the any private purpose. Okay. Then these factors we have discussed, income pay, because valuer need to consider, go straight away, go for these factors. Then only you can decide which method should you prefer. Income fetching, non-market. Yeah, I think you are all the you already studied this. These are the some factors. Still, just go for the information, for reminder of the knowledge. I have taken these slides. Then why is this difference of rates? How actually I will explain in plan what happened while handling some land acquisition cases. We have to discuss with collectors. So many problems we have faced, practically faced. How, what was the difficulty? I will try to explain. Then limited resources. There are some limited resources in the rural area. These factors must be where you will need this urban gap. Urban gap, where you will need these factors. Most whenever you are, and suppose you are valuing some property, then some rural area and some urban area, where you will need these such properties. What are the limitations I am expecting? This, why is the gap there? Vimal sir, you can answer this. Yes, I know. You know the answer.
Yeah, means
But
in
I will give
rural
you one.
area,
I will give you one hint. So you explain in your own words then.
in
Property.
rural area, I would like to say in rural area, first of all, whenever we see the elements of value, there are 4 elements of value as you discussed before.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was utility, marketability,
Yeah.
scarcity, and transferability. So in rural areas where I see the scarcity portion is not there. Basically, wherein in urban areas the scarcity portion is there. So obviously in rural areas, the demand, maybe you can say it's a lesser demand.
Yeah.
Also, the infrastructure facilities and everything are not available in rural areas, and that is why the rural areas always normally
Yes.
will fetch a lesser value.
Yes. Yes. And second thing, whenever you are valuing huge difference, where you will find huge difference. Suppose you are living in Surat, there is development plan, right, for municipal corporation, and outskirts, some villages are there. At the boundary of the municipal corporation region and the adjacent rural area, there you will find the huge difference of the rates.
Because of
Ready
the property
reckoner rates.
taxes and all.
Also, not only for the property taxation, but for every year. For income tax also, because what happens, you see, whenever I was working in the town planning department, valuation department, income tax department has demanded regarding these boundary limits. They serve the notice within the they have there are certain rules up to 5 kilometers, up to 7 kilometers, up to 2 kilometers from the municipal boundary. They consider these factors. So they were not taking the valuations, but how to fix that boundary there. So these boundaries were important for them. So from the town planning department, because the town planning is the only authority who can give the actual distances from the that outer boundary of the. So these factors are also important for the valuation. That's why there is a huge difference. That person has to prove, sir, this land is out of more than 5 kilometers away and everything. So valuer also must know these things also. Okay. Then limited access. Then shrinking demographic population matters. Then social issues. Huge difference of social issues there. If you are living in the high standard, there is difference of standard. Living standard is different. Those who are living in the villages. So these factors also must be. If you want to lower the valuation or you want to enhance the valuation, in that case you can use these such factors there. Sales comparison method you everyone know, but still, I think many times or most probably you should prefer this method, because what happens, you get some evidences here. You have some evidences available. You can compare the properties. So if you prepare your sales plan, that is called sales plan, you mark all the sales, you will have immediate picture, and on that basis you can easily judge, sir, these are the proper sales, these are similar sales. So in land acquisition also the same thing there. The word similar type of transactions is very important. And remember, at least if you have only one evidence available, you cannot come to the conclusion. You straight away discard that transaction there. And suppose if you have two transactions with too much higher valuations, and if you visited the site and if you come to know something, then at that time also you should consider these factors. You can discard these sales also. This location is important. Typical, everyone know typical marketing conditions. What are the typical marketing conditions? What is expected in these typical marketing conditions? How you will go to the true market value then? What is meant by these typical marketing conditions? Vimal sir, no, you know. You answered no. I know.
So whenever we are talking about the market value, we are considering, means it should be at arm's length transaction. After proper marketing means bringing it in, knowledge of enough number of prospective buyers that the property is there for sale, right? It should be between a willing buyer and a willing seller. That would be, that can suffice about the market value of the property.
Yes, and in addition to that, suppose these property are supposed to be in auction process. This also matter. That means it is mandatory for them.
Again, sir, willing buyer and willing seller will consider that auction, because in auction the seller is never a willing seller.
Yes, that means these conditions are important, because properly auctions and court orders, restrictions, there are some restrictions, or government lands. So, it happens that so many persons carried out the government land transactions. It should not happen. At least, see, this is the plan, develop one of the municipal council's development plan. So whenever you are valuing such properties, you need to go for this zoning. If you have collection of these development plans, then you can easily calculate the values of that properties. Suppose you are valuing this C. In this situation, this was you. Suppose you want to value this property. This here it is. This property is outskirts. Second thing, at the end of the municipal limit. Third one, there is partial zoning. There are there will be 3 times of rates here. We will face. If you go to the red reckoner, you will find that this is the rural area. In the second condition, you will find that land in the green zone. That means it has agricultural rates available. In the third condition, residential zone is there. And suppose if you are valuing this property, at that time, suppose partial zoning is there, you need to go and collect the according sales there. So if you collect such data only, then only you can come to the conclusion. So these are very important. This zoning is very important. Then there are some reservations there. So for the reservations, different procedures are there. For the land acquisition procedure there, then TDR benefits are there. So then premium FSI, how, because in municipal councils you need not go for the TDRs or premium FSI, because ample space is available here. But in particularly municipal corporations like Surat, Bangalore, Chennai, there is shortage of land. So people prefer to go for these premium FSI, TDR FSI, and everything. So this is one of the tourism place. This is tourist place, and there are some restrictions. So valuer should have the idea of these tourism plans also. See, there are some lands. This is one of the fort here. This pink color is showing fort, and there are some and in the tourism bylaws, there are some restrictions. That means up to, it might be different, depends on the structures, which type of structure, which type of monuments are there. So it affects the valuation of the property. Suppose this person wants to sell the property adjacent to this fort area, there will be no value for this property, because this person will not get any development permission. in that area. So there are some restrictions. So up to 500 meter, might be 1 kilometer, up to 5 kilometers from eco-sensitive zone area also. There are some restrictions. These factors are mentioned. These factors are given only in the development control rules. So that means valuer should have the knowledge of this development control, not only the plans. These plans are related to interlink with the development control rules then. So while valuing such properties, this is the reserve site for the garden then. You cannot do anything here. So such then this is the purely forest land, government land. So if you are valuing such property, suppose you want to value this property, you will not get the sales data here. Then what to do? Then apply your own mind and go for the valuations then. Such valuations will be needed by the, you need to carry out such valuations because you are valuer, you will require to do this. Then this is the one of the plan, same development plan is there. That means this zoning, residential zone, then roads, how much is the road width, as what are the development control proposals there. So these factors matters in these valuations. And see, remember, this is the development plan. And how the valuers will be, because this is the town planning development plan for the municipal corporation, municipal council, whatever it may be. On that basis, what the valuers will do, how they prepare the readiness here. So whenever they want to prepare, they will form some, there will be some different value zones there. That means suppose these properties on the fronting of this road, you will say this is the Kranti Chowk Shivaji Nagar road, this is the railway station road, this is the airport road. This type of discussion you will find in the, you know. So the properties on the road, the fronting on road have more weightage, and the properties in the outskirts, interior area, or in the Gautan areas, it is also there. So there are different kinds of zoning there. So on that basis, they fix the rates here. And this, whenever you will be valuing for the private purpose, you need to consider these zones. See, these are some zones available. These red boundaries are showing for the particular municipal corporation, one of the part here. So earlier, what we have seen, so many, this is zoning as per the town planning development, but they have not formed these value zones here, right? You are not see, but now in this plan you observe there are so many zones here, right? This is one zone, this is also zone, this is, that means these outskirts have different rates, these central areas have different rates, these properties are adjacent to the forest lands, these have different rates. So on that basis, valuer, whenever you will visit the site, always try to go with these planning development plans. Whenever you are visiting a site, or whenever you are valuations, or suppose some builder wants to, now so many builders coming forward, are so many persons, those who not have ample funds available, they will straightway go for the development agreements then. And that in that case, what the builder will do? He will approach the valuer and say, sir, please suggest me the proper land value rate. So you must have this technical knowledge with you, and you try to compare these properties, whether it is, suppose you are valuing this property at the end of this property, that means you need to consider these rural rates also. So suppose you do not find any transactions in this case, then you apply your mind, collect some data, and based on your own judgment, write down report. So this is one of the standard layout here. So these roads are proper and everything is proper. But one question I will ask, whether the rate for this plot and this last plot will be same or differ. Layout is same, survey number is same. Then why is the difference?
Location.
Location, right? It's a one thing, it is a corner plot. Suppose if do not have corner plots also, but it is fronting on the main road.
Road width.
Yes, road width matters.
Road width
And
matters.
and how the then because every time the registrar has no time to visit such sites, then there are some provisions in the redirectness. We will see in the later slides. Then in the afternoon session, I will show this how there is a difference. Same rate, because what will happen? You will find, suppose this survey number 272 and rate given
Sonu,
5,000
Santri,
5,900 square meter per
Santri.
that means it will be applicable for all the plots, because sub-registrar will not differentiate this. Your private failure, you are differentiated because you are going with the detailed documents, but sub-registrar will not different. But how we will see, you see in the evening session actually. Then this one is the amenities plot. Amenity plot. It is mandatory whenever you are giving any development permission for the layouts. It depends as per their respective states development control rules. It is, I think in particularly I know regarding Maharashtra bylaws, because I have given so many development permissions at that time. Unless and until you leave 5% or 10% or 15% amenity space, the authorities do not sanction the layouts. So that means this for the public purpose only. It is expected that there are no reservations. So government's intention is that for the public purpose, they should, this amenity space only can be sold out for the public purpose. And one question I will ask now on this amenity space.
Some banks, hello sir.
Hmm?
Some banks demand get a valuation of amenities for space for a mortgage purpose.
Yes, yes. It can be considered. But one question I will ask: suppose you have this 5,000 square meter amenity space left in this layout, then whether it is you can subdivide it or not.
Basically, it will be considered under the UDS. Means like in Ahmedabad region and all, we consider the super plot area.
Okay.
That plot area might be different, but they mention the super plot area also, dividing the UDS portion. They are mentioning the entire UDS provided to the owner. So there they mention the super plot area over there.
Okay. It's so good. But one thing, one question I'm asking: suppose whether you can subdivide this amenity space. That is my question.
It's not subdivided. Means it's a common area. It's a undivided.
Yes. That is undivided area only. It's a proper answer, right? So that means for that purpose only you can sell that property. You cannot sell for the residential purpose there. For the public purpose, public activities related, schools, then dispensaries. These might be permissible. Gardens, open spaces. So this also matters the valuations. And see the difference between this. Suppose this plot has good value as compared with this amenity space. Why it is? Because for that particular purpose there are some restrictions, but this owner can do commercial activity as
मला
well
नाही
as
खेळायचं इथं.
residential
इथं मांडू
activity.
नको.
So this these factors also matters while valuing. You should remember this. Now these three plots, plot A, plot B, plot C are there, right? Plot C will fetch higher value. It's okay, everyone knows. But my question is, what about this plot? Here, this is plot A and this is plot B. Whether the plot value for this plot A and plot B will be same or differ.
It might differ based on what's besides A, whether you have any margin area or not, or maybe the plot ends at A and there is an open space on the side of the A side. So you get a good light and ventilation from that side. So you can give a higher value to A than the plot B because it's an intermittent plot.
Okay, this is also good point. But one another most important point regarding this plot B, I am giving you a hint. What will be the effect here?
It's an intermittent plot. So, maybe the margins from both the sides has to be.
Yes, that's not issue. But I will. It's your opinion is also correct. But I will my opinion. I will my second opinion. I will say plot B has more value. Why it is so? Because see, this plot is adjacent to the plot B. What this person will do? So plot C.
Maybe it might get the spatial value.
That means amalgamation. He will what he will do? The plot C owner will buy because he has also he want to do this is a corner plot. He always will try to go for this plot B. Purchase that means that plot B has good value because he if he
So one question over here.
and he can do amalgamation on that basis he can evade that side boundary side. Otherwise he has to leave the side margins. He has
Sir,
to
one
leave the
question
side
over
boundary.
here. One
So,
question over here. Shall
mhm.
we consider that value of that plot B as market value? Because that would be the, spatial value because it is not value to the market. It is value only to the plot C.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, shall we consider it as market value or shall we consider it as spatial value then?
No, it we can consider it as special value.
Yeah.
Because why it is? Because in if he this plot C owner bought this plot, he will get the benefit of additional FSI there. He can utilize see he can have a good commercial complex here. But in this portion and this, suppose he combine what he will do simply for the amalgamation you require an adjacent plot and otherwise what was happening here, suppose he want to construct here, so accordingly he has to leave side margins here, but after combining he will get benefit, this will be the frontage, so naturally this plot has special value, it's okay.
Well, sir, it depends whether amalgamation is allowed in the TP
Yes.
rules.
But see, these are some independent plots. For independent plots, it is allowed. Particularly most of the bylaws they
When we are
are.
mentioning market value of the property in valuation report, shall we consider this spatial value as the market value?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why? Because that is the difference here. So
Because then
whenever you
again,
are,
it
No,
could
no,
be
sir.
value to a person and not value to the market.
so that
Very
means
right.
what you will do, you
Very
will
right. There is,
survey
yeah,
this
not to the
entire
market.
area. You will survey this entire area. On that basis, you will take your it differs on person to person. You will consider it as market value. I will write in special value. It depends because everyone has different thinking. It
Sir,
might be
this value is for investment purpose only.
yes, investment because what he is doing here.
Whether the as for a bank mortgage purpose is considered this
You
factor.
can consider this
Why
factors.
No, sir, I think,
he is
This
not
plot
able
has
to sell
sir,
high?
it will be, sir, it should be simply market value
Mhm.
because otherwise we may say that for plot B, same thing, same rules can apply for plot C. He will say that I want to amalgamate, I want to go that side.
Yes,
So
it
I think
depends. It
there is no
depends on
logic in this.
circumstances.
Sir,
It
only it is like Shah sir is also bringing out, it is only for, especially only for plot C. So in our report, we are not writing report for plot C. We are writing for market value.
yes.
So it is always then even plot B, even like plot A person also. Plot A may say that "Ki I want plot B, I want plot C also. So it depends, it varies from situation to
Yes,
situation.
yes, that's
But as
what.
far as market value is concerned, it will be lesser than plot C,
Yes, it
market value.
depends on the circumstances and person to person. But remember, this plot, if the plot C owner do not want to buy the plot, then what will be the effect then?
So that is why we say that plot B should fetch a lesser value because
Yes.
whenever we are giving market value, we are giving value to the market,
So
not
that
to a
means
particular person. So we are considering many buyers. And
yes, yes.
what most of the buyers will give the value to Mr. B, that will consider the market value.
So that means it
Okay,
depends on
Mr. C will buy it at a specialized value, that is a
yes,
special
yes.
value.
So
But
that
when
means
we
it depends on the circumstances. Suppose plot B, plot C is going to buy only this person will get benefit only. Otherwise, it's had no value then.
Sir, otherwise, why are we forgetting that even plot B person can also say that I want to buy plot C?
Yes, it may happen to that is what I am saying. It depends on circumstances.
Correct. If plot B
Because
is more like some influential or more money,
There
then
might
he
be
will
10
say,
views. You have different view. I have different view. Vimal sir has different view. It depends. Puneet sir have different view. Yadav sir had different views. Yes, that is the value.
Sir, I think we should be giving market value, and then in our report, in
Yes.
clauses or like in remarks,
value.
you can always
Yes.
write something
Hello,
more.
sir. Value will
Yes.
change with purpose. It is for investment, and who has to buy and who has to utilize this product.
That
Depends
means
on
you
that.
can have benefit of 10% plus or minus in this factor. Simply, if you enhance this by value by 10% or reduce by 10%, no one will take objection here. By
Well,
considering
this is a
this
case of taking 360-degree view. You have to take a 360-degree view while doing any assignment.
So it depends.
So you write in remarks. I mean, you can write something
In the remarks,
like various permutation and combinations.
Mhm.
You can write, you can explain in remarks that if this will happen, if B is going to buy C or C is going to buy B, so then it would be a comprehensive report. Otherwise,
This
as
will
far
be
as market
particular
value is
case.
concerned, it should be like independent market value of plot B. And then
Mhm.
further it can be like discussed, or it can be summarized in remarks. It can be mentioned there that if this would happen, then this will be slightly 10% more, or if plot C is interested, then it will fetch special value. So like this, it can be explained in remarks.
Yes. That is correct, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So now this one more situation here, because whenever you will visit, go to the ready reckoner, you will find the rates for this survey number 59. Unique rates will be there, right? What you are observing here, this plot is adjacent to the road, but this is Raju's land. This
Not accessible.
no, that means it is landlocked land simply. So for landlocked land, you know how much will be the difference there. But whenever you will, suppose Raju want to sell his property, Sanju want to sell the property, what sub-registrar will do? He will apply the same rates there. Then whenever, then you need to go for this adjudication process there. That means Raju has no access. So, but sub-registrar do not identify this, because he will go through this book and will find that suppose this property has rate of 50 lakhs per hectare. So the same rate will be applicable.
Such a situation arises in every district road and state highway in Maharashtra. As on date.
Yes, but
Because
that
the land is not divided. If survey number 59 has 10 hectare of land, okay?
Yes.
Sub-registrar apply rate of road touch property.
Yes. That's the practical thing I'm saying. But that
he cannot accept the situation.
Because he is non-technical person.
No, survey number is not divided on parted.
Yes, I know it. I have handled such cases.
How to decide Raju's land is on behind the?
You need to go
500 meter inside the main road.
So that means you will have the measurement plan.
There
That
is a
means
practical situation.
so that means you will collect the you will approach the land record department, and they get the land measured. That means they will provide you the documents. This is the land for the particular. This is Raju's land. This is Sanju's land. They will provide. The adjacent boundaries will be shown on that land records measurement plan. You need to go for the measurement plan there, right? This is purely agricultural land, right? Okay. In this situation, what you will do? What are the facts while valuing such agricultural lands? What will be the findings here?
Source of irrigation.
Because it depends. Source of irrigation, whether his land, and the second thing, some well might be there in this land.
Well or canal or
road access.
Yes, these factors, unless and until you visit, you cannot.
Road access.
Yes.
Whether the agriculture land also has has a road access.
Yes. And in this case, I will insist you people, whenever you got such problems, because these problems are everywhere. You will find this problem for this lands. Or suppose this land has road up only 2 meters or 3 meter access for going, because you cannot stop the, as per rules, you cannot deny the access here. So, but still the valuation will differ here. For Sanju's land, value will be different. Raju's value will be different. But for the register valuation will be the same. He will give this, sir, you pay this much stamp duty, then I will accept the document. Whenever now someone has said, sir, how to prove this land? So in that situation, you go for the land record department, TLR department, that means Taluka Inspector of Land Records. They will provide this, they will measure that. You need to pay some fees there. They will measure your land and give you the document. Sir, this is your portion. These are some, they will write down the adjacent names of the property owner on this. So you will prove that this is the Raju's land and this has no access, or having 2 meters access, or whatever it may be. So
Sir,
on that basis, you need to
actually practice, sir, in actually practice, client is not in a position to survey the land as what that he go to bank. He required a appointment of survey department and take a survey of the land and measure the area, and that required 1 year.
So yes, I know, because this is a lengthy process. No one people, because he do second thing, not only lengthy process, but he has to pay additional fees there. So, but such situation, if you have, you need to prove this, then only the government officer will accept. Otherwise, he will not accept. Yes, you need to prove. That's your lookout. If you are submitting from the private value, suppose subregs are given notice, and that adjudication process, what will do? They will keep hearing there. There will be joint site inspection there. At that time, you will say, sir, this is the land here. So it depends on person to person. Then, if you have documents, conclusive proof, you need not request that person. But the other, if you do not have measurement plan, then how it is difficult to prove that this is your land. And whenever you are submitting these proposals to the collector of stamps, there is checklist there. These plans, then these measurement plans, 712 extract or property card, they will not accept your proposal there. It may happen that it is as per checklist, we require these documents. If you do not submit, then what will happen? So try to be practical, try to find your own way, in your own way.
Sir,
Convince them.
I have one point regarding Raju has a safer side. If government value the more, he has one safer side for bank purpose.
For bank purpose, it's okay. But what about the stamp duty then?
No, he is able to pay stamp duty for
Yes, but
5%. No, he has to get loan maximum.
He can get benefit there. It may.
But such a
But while
situation,
writing report, what you will do?
such a
You need to
situation
consider.
arises in Maharashtra. If government value is 10 crore, market value is 5 crore.
Yes, it happens. Everywhere, all over India, you will find
Conflict of interest between borrower, valuer, and bank.
Then you need to give some evidences here. While what you will do there here, you will collect some sales data then. On that basis, if you get some such type of sales, remember the word similar type of sales must be considered.
I would like to add one thing, sir. Bank would never, go ahead with the loan for Raju because it's a landlocked plot.
Yes, because
they will not consider to give mortgage on such plots if they are knowing that it's a landlocked.
Sir, if it is agricultural land, it is not landlocked property.
But in agricultural land, in most of the cases, bank does not give the loan because it does not get attached under the SARFAESI Act.
Yes, sir. I agree. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Because bank officer also visit the site with you.
No, agriculture is not mortgaged with nationalized bank, but it is mortgaged with cooperative bank as a collateral security.
Then as a valuer, we need to judge that if it's a landlocked plot, then we have to give the proper value.
No
we have to-
no agriculture land is landlocked property.
Remember, sir,
Sir,
remember
sir,
one
sir, sir,
thing.
any land can also be a landlocked property.
Any land it may be, like agriculture
It can be a
land is
landlocked
not
property, obviously.
landlocked property
But your
as on
suggestion is
as per
what-
law.
But what you are saying, sir, ready reckoner rates are high. That's why bank can sanction. But they remember, the bank will consider your report, valuation report. These are average rates.
Sir, whenever the bank considers, they consider the mortgageable value. And
Yes,
what is the mortgageable value? That what would be the realizable amount the bank can get if the
yes,
person gets NPA? If the
yes,
realizable amount is less than the ready reckoner rates, obviously bank is not going to fund at the ready reckoner rates.
yes, absolutely correct, sir. Yes, I agree.
In that case, the borrowers
Because bank always funds that mortgage value. See, understand one thing. Bank never funds at the ready reckoner rates or the market value of the property. Bank
Yes,
always considers what is the mortgageable value.
I have 3 to 4 times repeated that these are the average rates. Why I am saying this? So these are average rates. You are valuing particular property. At that time, you have to write report properly. That means this is the landlocked land. If you have visited the site, if there is no access, then you need to write this, and you need to reduce this valuation for bank purpose. Then you have to reduce. Otherwise, submit evidences. Then what will happen? Suppose someone has made complaint. Then who will suffer there? Bank officer will suffer, or you will suffer?
bank suffer, bank officer suffer,
Bank will suffer,
client is
but
benefited.
but bank client will be benefit, but you will suffer with your registration then, because someone has
Sir, I
complained.
have a practical experience here. Most of the politicians convert any land for industrial purpose, abutting to main road. Entire land is about 50 acres or okay. Government ready reckoner says, as per guideline, if the property is any 90% of value is considered, including low road, okay. In that case, value of the property is huge. That was government rule. Market value is less.
Yes.
Buyer can say which type of you are valuer. If the government says 10 crore property value, you says 5 crore. Which type of you are valuer?
No, see,
No?
these are these
Practical situation. This is a practical
practically.
situation.
I know, I have handled these cases. I have
No, the client
given-
cannot come with valuer, genuine valuer.
So remember one thing: you need to go with the market value, right?
I'm going with market value by bank. Client is not acceptable. Bank also says if the
That is
government
his.
value is a 10 crore, why you should certify 5 crores?
Yes, yes. Because you will go with the market value only, because you are private valuers, but government valuers have restrictions to go with ready reckoners or whatever as per the site situation. But being a private valuer, you need to go for the market value only. You
Either the
this
either the client go to the other bank or change the value.
this is practical situation. Everyone will face these problems.
Yes.
We will discuss in the evening session
Okay,
then.
sir. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Sir.
your point is correct. And I have some examples with numericals with me. In the
Okay.
afternoon session, keep calculators with you. I will actually show. You are from Maharashtra, I know. These problems I know everywhere. These problems are because there is no subdivision allowed. And so many survey numbers, gut numbers. And still one thing, in Maharashtra particularly, always get, whether it is a survey number or gut number, always get confused, right? Whatever I am saying is correct.
Yes.
So we will discuss in the evening then. Okay.
Sir, one more thing.
We will please keep reserve
Okay,
question in the
okay.
evening. We will have half an hour. We will discuss for half an hour then. Keep all the questions reserved, and we will have again. I will go to the slides then. Okay. Then this is one of the best layout in this layout. But how, whether the property valuation, suppose this is the main road here. This was the values of on this road. They have considered point access is there from this main road here, right? But this survey number is united here, and then how should be the rate considered here? What we will see in the afternoon session then. Then everyone know this. It also may affect the market value. Just who was saying, Somnath was saying, see, this is the flatted building here, high-rise building here, adjacent to this area. This will affect the market value. But government rates, what will happen here? Redirector might be different. He will consider it as a high-rise building, sub-register, but what private valuer's role will be there then? He need to prove that this is the adjacent to this total slum area is there. I will go, though the redirector rates are too high, there might be some difference because every time it is not mandatory for government valuers to visit the site. They prepare it, most of the time they prepare on the papers. In situation, what he will think? He will think that these are the high-rise buildings. I will give separate zones and propose some different rates. There might be huge difference there. Such situation might be there. And practically it happens. And many times I have also come across such difficulties. So at that time, you need to apply your own mind. You need to write the Virendra Sarji had already suggested. What will be the valuer's role? He should go with the proper market value only. Vimal sir also with the same opinion. Why he is suggesting? Why they are not accepting these government radical values? But this is also base. If there is so much difference, because what the complaint, in case of complaint, they will compare these values. They will go with this radiator value and again with this whatever valuation carried by the private valuer and compare these. Why this much is difference there? Your rating report will prove in that situation, and that report will save you. Otherwise, what will happen? In the case of auction, what will happen there? Whether if suppose NPA will be there, bank will cannot collect, almost they will get only 10% or 15% value there. Such practical situations happen. And one of the banks, I have already carried out one inquiry also on this. I was given only 5 to 10 proposals. And in that situation, I have handled that these registered valuers have made mistakes. They have given wrong, they have intentionally submitted wrong reports. But we are very good people. I think no one will like to go in jail there. They are suffering. So now this everyone knows regarding this belting method of valuation. I will not explain, but such situations happen. Just like landlord land. There in Maharashtra particularly, such big survey numbers are there. Still 40 acres, 50 acres survey numbers are prevailing. I don't know about what about Sir Vimal sir? Or Virender sir? What is the situation in your states regarding this survey number areas? How much area? Devenji, you are from which state?
Maharashtra.
Are Maharashtra. I know, no issue.
Sambhajinagar.
I am from Sambhajinagar only.
Oh,
Okay, okay, we will.
I haven't met.
We will meet again. Okay, no issue. But in particularly Maharashtra, we people are facing so many problems.
There are few cases where I came across where the properties on highway और वो कंट्रोल लाइन में मैक्सिमम एरिया चला जाता है और वो
अब
बिल्डेबल ही नहीं
मेरे
होती
इसमें आने
property.
वाला है, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में आने वाला है. I have taken these cases
yes,
also because what is happening, why valuer is reducing that values.
Yeah.
I know because I have given so many development permissions. I have faced not only valuations but handle so many. So too much pressure was there to get loans.
One such case I had done for income tax where the stamp value was much higher and market value was much lesser, and he got notice from income tax department
Yes.
that you had done
Adjudication
registration.
certificate.
Yeah.
So naturally it happens because what is happening practically whenever you are doing transaction for more than 5 lakhs, it automatically refers it to the income tax department. This is the rule for particularly I know regarding Maharashtra. Whenever there nowadays 5 lakhs value, because these rules are prevailing since last 15 years. What will be the value for this 5 lakhs today? So now almost
I think as on today about 25 to 30 lakhs rupees.
almost more than people prefer to go, these income tax people
If
prefer more than 50 lakhs.
transaction value is above 25 or 30 lakhs,
Yes.
Assam Register Office intimate the income tax
So
department.
automatically reflects above 5 lakhs. It's I know because I was working there with
Okay.
these officers. But still they consider the almost 25 lakhs and above for such complaint cases. Then I think it's we will have 1 hour break and we will continue at 3 p.m. then. And please keep calculators. I have some numericals with Maharashtra's redirectness, but similar types you can apply while you can use. Being a valuer, you can apply such cases because I was one of the part while preparing these rules and regulations. So I will suggest you will say, sir, these are rules prevailing in Maharashtra, but similar types of rules might be there in your states also. But otherwise, you can suggest, being a valuer, you can suggest, sir, these things are required in our redirectness. You are valuer, you can suggest. It is
Sir,
mandatory.
actually in big area, actually big survey number,
Mhm.
these ready reckoner slabs for belting method or whatever guideline is prescribed in ready reckoner rate manual
Mhm.
rules is
Mhm.
also higher side.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, ready reckoner guideline, if in previous ready reckoner of 2014, depreciation is more, as on date, depreciation is less.
Still, there is one provision there. Remember,
Hmm.
if it is adjacent to this particular, the road must be notified in
No,
the
at depreciation factor for building also change.
building. Okay.
Building
Yes.
also changed. Previous
Um,
report says more depreciation, as on date depreciation. It is a revenue collection method only.
yeah. See, first word of what I am using, these are average rates. If you want to particular value for the particular property, you need to go for the adjudication only. There is no other option if you are selling that property. And second thing, what happens? These rates will not be changed for that capital gain cases. Why it's so? Because the adjudication process is only for the collection of stamp duty purpose only. So see the difference there. There the valuer can suppose the
As on date,
one thing, remember, I will continue first, then you can ask me. Suppose you got the valuation of this property 75 lakhs, and you have the opportunity to go for, suppose you are selling this property, what you will do? You have the option to go for the adjudication. The technical authority will visit the site accordingly as per the merit they meet. The value can be reduced. Suppose he has reduced the value for 35 lakhs or 40 lakhs something. 30%, 40% reduce as per the site situation or whatever the evidence he got. But see, this value will not be changed for the capital gain purpose because there is no provision for there are no technical authorities working there, right? So what they will do, they will approach to the party will, where the party will complain, then he will straightway approach to the private valuer. Then at that situation, you need to properly analyze and properly submit with evidences. Sir, this is the practical situation. On that basis, this is will be the market value. On that basis, I am submitting this report. This remember, these two things are different. Then these are some standard areas here people will prefer, but what about this issue we will see in the afternoon session, because it's already 2 p.m. We will meet at 3 p.m. then. Okay, we will continue. But keep calculators with you.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, we will continue. Thank you from my side also.
Yes.
It's a good discussion. I like such discussion because
Yeah, it's always good when the sessions are interactive, right?
thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, we will continue the session at 3 p.m.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.